Knowing what I know now, would I do anything different pre-retirement and post-retirement? Great question. This came from one of you viewers out there, and my best videos come from you. Okay, so if you got a video topic, let me know. So my name is Joe. I'm 59. I've been retired a little over 4.5 years now. So I'm in my 5th year of retirement. What would I do differently? All right, great question. Great question. And my answers today are different than they were even 1 year ago. Okay, so this is a evolution for me and evolving into what I think retirement's all about and reflecting back. So hopefully you can appreciate that and not think I'm schizophrenic, but I am learning as I go on this journey. So I've got my laptop down here and got, I think, 5 things that I would think about doing differently. Number 1, I am too driven for accomplishment. This has served me well in my work life, but in retirement, it's not necessarily the best thing. I'm wanting, to climb that next hill. A lot of you in the comments said, "Hey, Joe, man, you're doing an awful lot." Well, I don't think I'm doing an awful lot, but one of the things that has occupied a lot of time is my one-on-one coaching. So, and I'm, when I decide to do something, I decide to do it well. I decide to do it, with enthusiasm and to make a difference. And that has, that's kind of taken away some of just a little bit of the joy of retirement. And what I mean by that is I like to sample dozens of things. I like to go skeet shooting one day. I like to go fishing one day. I'd like to go to the movies. I did that today. Have all these interests that I can just dabble in, but when I do one and want to do it very well, it knocks out the variety. Okay, if that makes sense to you, hopefully it does. But and some of you know that's called a type A personality, somebody that's driven, goal-oriented, successful, and maybe successful is not the right word, but goal-oriented and driven, versus a type B personality that is a little more artistic, a little more laid back, a little more chill. And can I become a little bit more of a B personality in retirement? Let's see how this goes. I'm thinking I should, okay? And a lot of that's from feedback from you. So, yeah, maybe if I had it to do all over again, I would concentrate up front to be more of a B personality than to, hey, retirement's just another hill to climb, okay? So, number 2, retire 2 years earlier. I didn't say this in my last video update on my what I would do different. One of the things I'm realizing is, the longer your career is in the rearview mirror, the less significant it is in your life. I was a plant manager, had a great job my last 2 years, made a lot of money, a lot of influence, but here we are 5 years later, nobody cares. It's all about ego. And, yes, I had an ego. And looking back on it, say, I had enough when I was 52 years old. I would like to maybe, if I had a do-over, just go at 52. Let's see. I retired to doing some reliability and maintenance coaching and consulting. Many of you know that. I was pretty good at it, okay? I had a great track record. I just contacted a company, or they contacted me, sent me an email this week saying that they've reduced their unplanned downtime by 75%. And that was a company that I worked with 3 years ago. 75%, that's insane. That's insane. And they got over 30% in the first year. So I do still write on the topic of reliability and maintenance. I got a unique approach, but I'll be honest, not too many people care. So my ego is like, hey, everybody's gonna want this information, but in the end, they don't. So hey, when you got enough, maybe it is time to retire. and instead of trying to put your stamp on the world and your next hill you want to climb, is that all about you? Or, yeah, I don't know. It's just something to think about. I'm having some reservations about working those last 2 years of my career. So call me Don Quixote, and I'm chasing windmills because I do still write on this topic. I enjoy coaching a few people on reliability and maintenance, but it's not the tsunami of change that I was expecting whenever I decided to retire and start that consulting. I'm a little disappointed with that, but I'm also realizing how fast time goes by. So that's influencing my decision to maybe retire 2 years earlier. I cannot believe it's been 4.5 years that I've been retired. It is accelerating the speed. There's a lot of time in a day, but a very little time in a year. A year goes by like that. Okay, number 3, I wish I would have started focusing on my diet a little earlier. I've always exercised, sorry. I like doing my elliptical. I like lifting weights, but nutrition focus is something I wish I would have started earlier. I am down almost 30 pounds from when I was working, but I'm about 15 higher than my target. I'll be honest. Right now, I'd like to get down another 15, and that's a struggle for me. The problem with diet for me is I never win the diet battle. I win the day. I never win. It's not a, hey, I've lost the pounds and now I can go back to normal. No, it's a daily battle for me. I'm going to make a video on that. As soon as I hit a milestone, I'm going to make a video on what I'm doing around health and wellness, okay? So look forward to that, but I got to hit this milestone first. So anyway, so the 4th item is I wish I would have talked more with my wife, discussion on what our thoughts around retirement were. I was 100% focused on money. It was, does the math work? Do we have enough money? Not, what are we going to do in the first month? What are we going to do in the second month, 6 months? What are we going to do on an average Tuesday? What's her life look like? What's my life look like? We argued a little bit over this, not much, but it was something that I just wasn't prepared for, and we easily could have started those discussions, a couple years ahead of time. Okay, jumping to number 5. Oops, went too far. The last one is financially. What would I have done different financially? This is probably what you were waiting for. Okay, I got just one, and I'll put a little star by it. I'm not sure how big of a deal it would have been, but I also have a concern. Okay, so one thing that I would do differently is I wish I would have done Roth conversions, started them 1 year earlier, okay? And, a lot of fear of money. I had to pay the taxes on it. That was the big issue. I was worried about spending and all that kind of stuff, and did we have enough money? But this is not just a sales pitch, but I didn't have new retirement at the time. I didn't have vision to my taxes 5, 10, 15, 20 years in the future to see how big the time bomb was. Now, I do have plenty of time, especially with them changing RMD rules. For me, it's out to 75, so I still got, 16 years left of doing RMDs, but I should have started them 1 year earlier, and I think that's going to hurt me a little bit, not a lot, but I didn't have vision to it. So my spreadsheets, that wasn't even one of the considerations, what my tax is going to be when I'm 75 years old. But now with new retirement, guys, hit the link, the first one below, look at the format, you get a free 2 weeks when you use this link, okay? It's a game changer for you folks going by yourself. Even if you use a financial advisor, this software is probably better than what they're using, and the degree of complexity of questions you can ask from using new retirement, experimenting, stress testing, it's going to go through the roof. It's a game changer for me, and was my, really my only financial mistake I made, not thinking about taxes, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. Okay, the second thing, and this is a prediction, not really a failure or something I would do different yet. I'm starting to get concerned about it. And it's not spending enough money. Not spending enough money. My wife and I live nice. We have our house paid off. I have no debt. We're living very similar to what we did before, except for traveling a little more. But I think if the stock market does reasonable stuff, and that's the big assumption, how long are you going to live, and how's the stock market going to do? I believe in about 5 years, I'll look back on today, 2023, and say, should have spent a little more money. Maybe given away a little more money, maybe give some money to my kids to give them a nice head start, maybe have some vacations where it's all inclusive for my kids, rent a house for a couple weeks in Florida or Arizona or Colorado and invite the kids out for an all expense paid vacation, good family time. So those kind of things, I'm thinking I may have a little bit of regret. But again, tell me what the stock market's going to do, and I'll tell you how much money I'm going to have. So there you go. And one of the reasons I say that, and again, a plug for new retirement, even when I hit pessimistic, and new retirement has a quick toggle between pessimistic market returns, average, and optimistic. Even under pessimistic, I'm above 90% probability of success, which is the Monte Carlo. And so that's got me thinking, am I spending enough money? And this is not really on creature comforts for my wife and I. It's really for others, a family. I don't really see staying in a nicer hotel or something like that, but can we give away a little bit more money, help out some family members that need some money, maybe do some family events that we fund to strengthen those bonds and those relationships, which I know are going to be most important in the end. So anyway, that's what I got. I think you can see Grogu over here. People have been wondering where he was at, so I put him in this shot. This is Joe out.